Jamaica.com, on your mobile phones at tunein.com or nobex.com, or by dialing 832-551-5045 or 213-493-0133 in the USA. If you're in the UK, you can dial 020-3519-0145, and in Germany 051-180-904044. Our email address is bothsides106 at live.com, and you can join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or link us up on Skype. We look forward to receiving your instant messages on MSN or Yahoo, and your text messages on 365-3346. Remember, we have two ears and one mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen to both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Oh, both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story.
Yes, both sides of the story.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
When you lose someone you love, your life becomes strange. The ground beneath you becomes fragile. Your thoughts make your eyes unsure, and some dead echo drags your voice down, where words have no confidence. Your heart has grown heavy with loss. And though this loss has wounded others too, no one knows what has been taken from you. When the silence of absence deepens, flickers of guilt kindle regret for all that was left unsaid or undone. There are days when you wake up happy, again, inside the fullness of life, until the moment breaks and you are thrown back onto the black tide of loss. Days when you have your heart back, you're able to function well, until the middle of work or encounter, suddenly, with no warning, you are ambushed by grief. It becomes hard to trust yourself. All you can depend on now is to remain faithful to itself. More than you, it knows its way and will find the right time to pull the rope of grief until that coiled hill of tears has reduced to its last drop. Gradually, you will learn acquaintance with the invisible form of your departed, and when the work of grief is done, the wound of loss will heal, and you will have learned to wean your eyes from that gap in the air and be able to enter the hearth in your soul where your loved one has awaited your return all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you give a little more than you take, and if you try to fix more than you break, if you're the kind who takes the time to help a stranger in the rain, there's a place for people like you. If you stand up for those down on their knees, and lend a voice to those who cannot speak. If you shine a little light, give sight to the ones who've lost their way. There's a place for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like you. If you walk around with your heart on your sleeve, and if you're trying to be the change you wanna see, if you lay down your life for love so someone could be saved, there's a place for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like you. People like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through here, there's a place up there for people like you. I know you're out there, so keep doing what you do, 'cause there's a place up there for people like you. Out of many one people we are.
2021 to 2030 is the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, and the Decade of Action for Road Safety. It's the 13th day of the 8th month of 2021, the International Year of Peace and Trust, the International Year of Creative Economy for Sustainable Development, the International Year of Fruits and Vegetables, the International Year for the Elimination of Child Labor, and the International Year of Health and Care Workers. Put another way, it's the 13th day of the 3rd month of the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season. And the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida is reporting, in fact, that they have issued advisories on Tropical Depression Fred, located near the north central coast of Cuba. The National Hurricane Center is issuing advisories on potential Tropical Cyclone 7, located several hundred miles east of the Leeward Islands. Formation chance through 48 hours, high 80%. Formation chance through 5 days, a high of 80%. As far as our local weather report is concerned, certainly not divorced from the regional weather report. The National Meteorological Service says an induced trough associated with Tropical Depression Fred is across Jamaica, and this induced trough is expected to be west of the island tomorrow, as Fred is expected to continue moving west-northwest along the northern coast of Cuba. The forecast for the rest of this afternoon: periods of showers and thunderstorms across sections of most parishes, elsewhere cloudy. Tonight will be cloudy. And again, the other regional weather features: Tropical Depression Fred, 595 kilometers east-southeast of Key West, Florida. A tropical wave is approaching the central Caribbean. Another tropical wave across the central tropical Atlantic has a high chance of developing into a tropical cyclone over the next 5 days. And so the National Meteorological Service has tweeted that with Tropical Depression Fred now moving close to Cuba's northern coast and heading into the Gulf of Mexico, all eyes in Jamaica will shift to the next potential tropical cyclone heading towards the Leeward Islands. No threat to Jamaica now, but monitoring continues. Other information of note we like to share at the top of the program. Let's get straight to it. In the United States of America, the month of August is being observed as Children's Eye Health and Safety Month, Gastroparesis Awareness Month, National Breastfeeding Month, National Immunization Awareness Month, Psoriasis Action Month, and Summer Sun Safety Month. The Festival of Souls is on in Japan. It's Independence Day in the Central African Republic, Lao Isara Day of the Free Laos in Laos, Revolution Anniversary in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Women's Day in Tunisia, and the annual pilgrimage continues in Montserrat. It's International Left-Handers Day. Good afternoon to all the left-handers in Jamaica and the world tuned in to both sides of the story. We'll properly introduce the program in just a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:15.
This Saturday, August 14, the Valerie Levy and Associates Limited presents the open house from 11:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Vineyards at Deanery, 50B to 50 and a quarter Deanery Road, Kingston. See studios, bedrooms, bathrooms, walking trails, rooftop entertainment, and much more. Mortgage banks will be on site. If you can't be there, tune in to Power 106 FM with Dervan Malcolm for a live broadcast from the event. This broadcast is brought to you by the Vineyards at Deanery, 50B to 50 and a quarter Deanery Road, Kingston. That's a live broadcast from the Vineyards at Deanery Open House this Saturday, August 14, right here on Power 106 FM.
I heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place out there for people like you.
Hoy es viernes el 13 de agosto 2021 y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado. porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones. Y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir both sides of the story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes, desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos.
'Cause there's a place up there for people like you.
C'est vendredi le 13 août 2021 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutent où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue.
Stand up for those down on their knees and lend a voice to those who cannot speak. If you shine a little light, give sight to the ones who've lost their way. There's a place for people like you.
All we're saying is it's Friday, the 13th of August, 2021, and we greet you well wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
For people like you, I heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place out there for people like you.
Good afternoon to those of you listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Moran Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point, this is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you would have downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. If you have dialed a designated number to listen to Power 106 FM, we thank you for doing so. And if you haven't, well, let's tell you what those numbers are. Those in the United States who wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM can call 631-359-8281. 631-359-8281. And if you're in the United Kingdom and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 0330-606-0953. 0330-606-0953. We thank you if you have logged on to the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Subscribers to onespotmedia.com also have access to both sides of the story in particular and Power 106 FM in general. We're streaming live video on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page and affiliated pages. If you're not there yet, log on to Facebook. In the search box atop the page, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you'll not only be able to hear, but see what's happening in the studios of Power 106 FM. If you don't have a Facebook account, don't worry about it. Once you have a device and you have internet connection, open a browser like Google Chrome, for example, and type YouTube in the search box. The YouTube website will come up. If you do that now, you should see this video trending. If it's not trending, then in the YouTube search box, type DERVAN MALCOLM, and you too will be able to watch both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. What's on your mind this afternoon? We're always anxious to hear from you. The numbers to call 876-922-4112, 876-922-4113, 876-922-4114, and 876-922-4115. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but also call us directly on WhatsApp. And in fact, if you want to dial direct, you can do so. The number is 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. And as you know by now, we're all over social media: Facebook, Twitter, Skype, Instagram, LinkedIn, BBM, Yahoo Messenger, Tango, WhatsApp, Snapchat. So many ways to reach us here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Lots of messages to clear already. And let's get straight to it. Ambassador Curtis Ward, good afternoon to you in Maryland. His latest publication of The Ward Post, that's his blog. You can find it, The Ward Post. I believe it's about 4 years and counting of publications. Ambassador Ward is Jamaica's former ambassador to the United Nations and a former member of the UN Security Council. He's also adjunct professor for Homeland Security for the graduate program at the University of DC, and he chairs the Caribbean Research and Policy Center. Good afternoon to Paul Chambers, who's tuned in, and we should tell you the topic of Ambassador Ward's post this week: Biden's summit to address challenges to democracy, corruption, and human rights. Biden's summit to address challenges to democracy, corruption, and human rights. Paul Chambers in London says, good afternoon, Dervan. Hope your day is going well, brother. Those are some moving words, brother. Could you please, by any chance, if you could forward these words to me, please? Thank you. Take care. Stay safe. And thank you for that reminder, Paul Chambers, that I did not state the title of the piece we started with and the author. It's entitled For Grief. For Grief. For Grief. That's the title, For Grief. And it's written by an inspirational gentleman, and he has written a lot of inspirational pieces. His name is John O'Donoghue. John O'Donoghue. That's John O apostrophe Donohue. That's John O'Donoghue, the author of the opening piece this afternoon, simply titled For Grief. For Grief. Grief. And we paired that with perhaps one of the most powerful recordings released during COVID-19. Gramps Morgan, people like you, it is loaded, it is powerful, it is compelling, it is arresting. It will cause all of us to engage in a bit of soul searching as well. And some memories will come rushing back, some good, some bad. Spare a thought for those who are hurting right now because of the loss of a loved one, a friend, a colleague, a neighbor. And those who are still trying to get over the loss of a loved one. And that is always tough, no matter how long ago it was that loved one left. And we are still losing people globally to COVID-19, not least of all here in Jamaica. And the number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 continues to rise. In the last 24 hours, Jamaica has confirmed 544 new cases of COVID-19 infections. And sadly, 8 more people have died. While hospitals island-wide remain over capacity, we do not have enough beds for patients who need to be in a hospital bed. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is using the opportunity to encourage all of us to redouble our efforts at infection prevention and control, as well as increased vaccinations. The total number of infections seen here in Jamaica since the first confirmed case of COVID-19, 56,709. More in a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30. Jamaica is blessed with adequate water supply. Let us do our part in protecting this precious resource and enhance the productivity of our farmers. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow, as what we do today will impact our lives tomorrow. A message from the National Irrigation Commission Limited. Irrigation, making the difference in agriculture.
Become the hero on the scene by taking the COVID vaccine. Get vaccinated as soon as you get all the facts. Don't listen to the rumors. This vaccine might just make it possible for teachers to sit face to face with schoolers. This vaccine make it safer for everybody, from the young to the elderly. Don't you want to go back to living normally when things were more orderly? And if you want to live a long good life, then we all have to do what's right. So let's get vaccinated along with the heroes on the front line.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
This Saturday, August 14, the Valerie Levy and Associates Limited presents the open house from 11:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Vineyards at Deanery, 50B to 50 and a quarter Deanery Road, Kingston. See studios, bedrooms, bathrooms, walking trails, rooftop entertainment, and much more. Mortgage banks will be on site. If you can't be there, tune in to Power 106 FM with Dervan Malcolm for a live broadcast from the event. This broadcast is brought to you by the Vineyards at Deanery, 50B to 50 and a quarter Deanery Road, Kingston. That's a live broadcast from the Vineyards at Deanery Open House this Saturday, August 14, right here on Power 106 FM.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness invites members of the public to visit a vaccination blitz site to receive a first or second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Appointments are preferred. Walk-ins are welcomed. Saturday, August 14th, St. Catharines, St. Jacob Park Health Center and the Portmore Heart Academy, St. Thomas, June Supermarket, Morant Bay Square, Morant Bay Health Center and the Seaforth Health Center. Kingston and St. Andrew, National Arena and the Maxfield Park Health Center. St. Mary, the St. Mary Anglican Church. Portland, Buff Bay Health Center, St. Anne, Bellier Farms Market, Clarendon, Denby Primary School, and the Spalding Health Center. St. Elizabeth, Barbary Hall Community Center, Santa Cruz Health Center, Black River Health Center, and the Junction Health Center. Manchester, the Mandeville Regional Hospital, St. James, Sandals Inn, and Type 5 Health Center. Hanover, Lucy Health Center. On Sunday, August 15, Kingston and St. Andrew, the National Arena, St. Anne, Belair Farmers Market, Clarendon, Denby Primary School, Manchester, the Mandeville Regional Hospital. Persons should take their TRN, a government-issued identification card, letter from a justice of the peace, and vaccination card to the sites. The Ministry of Health and Wellness thanks the operation. Power Talk has been a matters of public interest, finding solutions to the challenges in a globalized world. Power Talk brings you the new host who will take talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Croskill from Wednesday to Friday as they provide a riveting analysis on the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for brand new features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the 21st century are being addressed. That's Dr. Herbert Gale Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Croskill Wednesday to Friday on Power Talk, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM.
Living in the positive.
I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like you. If you're
Condolences to the family, friends, colleagues, neighbors of the 1,276 people who have died from COVID-19 here in Jamaica. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is telling us that hospitals across the western, southern, and northeast health regions have exceeded their COVID-19 capacity, though there is no shortage of oxygen stores. No shortage of oxygen. Hospitals in the southeast health region, meanwhile, are inching closer to full capacity at 85%. The Ministry of Health and Wellness continues to urge Jamaicans to remain vigilant with their mask wearing, keeping a physical distance from others, and frequently washing and or sanitizing hands. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is also encouraging Jamaicans to get vaccinated. There's an island-wide vaccination blitz on this weekend as regional health authorities activate some 23 sites across 11 parishes. Members of the public are being asked to make their appointments online, moh.gov.jm. That's the website. If you insist on using www. Well, yes, with or without the www.moh.gov.jm will take you to the website anyway, moh.gov.jm. You can also call the vaccination call center, which is 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683. 663 5683. Once you have received your appointment confirmation, you are to visit the vaccination site on time and with your TRN and government issued identification or letter from a justice of the peace. As at 9 o'clock this morning, Jamaica's vaccination numbers were up to 393,863. That's 393,863 vaccinations. Of that number, 258,466 were first doses. That's 258,466 first doses. 134,462 second doses. That's 134,462 second doses. And 935 single doses. That's 935 single doses. Those are some of Jamaica's vaccination numbers. And you can always visit moh.gov.jm for more information. We're looking at the numbers in relation to those COVID-19 patients admitted to hospital. That number is now 359. 359 people admitted to hospital on account of COVID-19. 81 of those patients are moderately ill and 34 critically ill. We trust, hope, pray, and no doubt that the medical teams are working to save as many lives as possible. Sadly, we weren't able to save the lives of 8 of our people. A 94-year-old female from Trelawney, whose death was previously under investigation. A 49-year-old male from Trelawney. A 47-year-old female from St. Anne. A 36-year-old male from St. Mary. A 70-year-old female from Clarendon. A 47-year-old female also from Clarendon. A 65-year-old male from St. Elizabeth. And a 40-year-old female from Manchester. May we continue to be safe wherever in the world we are, not least of all here in Jamaica. Let's continue to wear our masks, wash and sanitize our hands, maintain physical distance as we move about in public, and in the case of socializing with our family members, and in some instances friends, that's when we would apply social distance. So a reasonable, well, the experts say 6 feet. So if we're socializing, that is the distance, 6 feet. If we're just trying to avoid being too close to others in the public space, that's physical distancing. We wish everybody well, wherever in the world you are. Let's clear some messages. Claudette Robbins. Oh, before we do, let's go to the phone lines. 876-922-4112-5. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Well,
good afternoon.
Pleasant good afternoon, Mr. Dervan Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
How you know to please that son, Mr. Dervan Malcolm? You are blessed.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, you are. Remember the lady that called and tell you about her father that died and she need a father?
Oh, yes, I remember that call.
Well, I've been trying to get you for so long. I lost my brother last week Sunday, not about COVID.
Oh, dear. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Last
Condolences.
week Sunday, Mr. Dervan. And you play, I had that thing, you know, I had that song. And I'm going to play it tomorrow because you are what you are. You're blessed. You are blessed.
Thank you.
I'm just going to keep up. He's my special brother. 5 brothers, but he's my special brother.
Yes, all of us have one of those.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for the call and best wishes to you and your family. Please continue to be safe.
Thanks.
Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Good afternoon to Claudette Robinson on YouTube. She says, thanks for this very inspiring song, People Like You by Gramps Morgan. That's this afternoon's theme song. Lynn Bailey says, good afternoon, Dervan. Absolutely fitting song for the mood today. I carry my heart on my sleeve. I also loved the poetry piece you read. This song is for people like me. Please play again later. Well, it's on rotation. We'll do our best, Lynn Bailey. And we wish you and your family well. Paul Chambers in London says, good afternoon, Dervan. I would like if you could forward those moving words to me, please. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Well, we did. And in fact, Paul has responded to say, thank you very much. Take care. You're welcome, Paul. And all the very best to you and your family at home and abroad. Let's look at some of the other messages that have come in. Jennifer Stewart from Q Road in Kencott, East Central St. Andrew. Good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Deandra Brown says, good day, everyone. To you too, Deandra. Shines for Life Law says, manners and respect at Uncle D. Manners and respect to you too, Shines for Life Law. Barbara Campbell, hello. Hi, how are you? Good to see you online. Good to see you online. All the best. Deandra Brown, it's good to have you on board. Inafka Collins, good afternoon to you too. And Barbara Campbell says, love you, man. Lots of love to you too, Barbara Campbell. Lots of love to you too. Carol in Calgary, Alberta, Canada says, good afternoon, Dervan. Good afternoon, Carol. We'll come back to the rest of your message in just a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
Hey, you see these days, it's good to get straight to the point. Quick and easy. That's why Western Union gives you another way to receive money straight to your bank account with Western Union's direct-to-bank money transfer. Visit a Western Union agent location and sign up now. And tell your family and friends to send your next Western Union money transfer directly to your bank account in Jamaica. It's easy. Visit a Western Union location or call our call center at 876-926-2454. Sign up today to receive a money transfer directly to your bank account with ease with Western Union. Moving money for better.
It's riveting, thought-provoking, and interesting. It's the Morning Agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. Join Jody and Quarry on Mondays and Tuesdays and Sanjay Lewis on Wednesdays and Thursdays, while they alternate on Fridays as they set your agenda and break down the issues and keep you informed on what matters to you most. It's the Morning Agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. only on Power 106 FM.
Tune in every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. to midday for your legal corner with Dahlia Walker Huntington during Power Talk on Power 106 FM. You can call our numbers 876-922-41125. The text and WhatsApp line is 876-279-8598. You can also send an email at yourlegalcorner106@gmail.com. Join Your Legal Corner for all matters in relation to immigration to the United States. Here, Dahlia offer great legal advice on your immigration queries and concerns. Learn about the filing process, when to file, and how to prepare for the move. That's Your Legal Corner, 11:30 to midday, every Thursday, right here on Power 106 FM.
I heard up there the streets are made of gold. And when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, yeah, there's a place up there for people like you.
Carol Boyth in Calgary, Alberta, Canada says, good afternoon, Dervan, Malcolm, and global listeners. Happy Friday. Beautiful song. Happy Friday to you too, Carol Boyth. She says, I didn't realize it was Friday the 13th. Indeed, it is Friday the 13th. And there are all kinds of myths associated with Friday the 13th. Which is considered an unlucky day in Western superstition. Friday the 13th, considered an unlucky day in Western superstition. It occurs when the 13th day of the month in the Gregorian calendar falls on a Friday, which happens at least once every year, but can occur up to 3 times in the same year. For example, 2015 had a Friday the 13th in February, March, and November. 2017 through 2020 had 2 Friday the 13ths each. And the years 2021, this will be the only Friday the 13th for 2021. Today, the only Friday the 13th for 2021. I wonder if that's because every other day has been Friday the 13th in 2021 in a manner of speaking. But anyway, and the next year, all things being well, 2022 will have only one Friday the 13th. If it's any comfort for those who pay attention to those things. Let's see. Sham White says, good afternoon, Dervan. We need the rain. The place is really hot. Yeah, well, yes, indeed it is. It is hot. And like so many things in this life, yes, maybe some rain, but not too much where we have other issues to contend with. Velta Wilson says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and other listeners. To you too, Velta Wilson. Olga Hollingshead says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm, and all your listening family and friends everywhere on the diaspora. Happy Friday, rainy here in Miami. Blessings for a wonderful weekend. Thank you very much, Olga Hollingshead in Miami, Florida. Alexander Taylor says, good afternoon, my friend Dervan. Greetings from Florida. Welcome, Alexander Taylor. Good afternoon, teacher, says Jeannie Chambers. Hail up, says Golden Brown. I am left-handed, says Sham White, because today is International Left-Handers Day. So she's declaring that she, too, is left-handed. Happy International Left-Handers Day to you, Sham White. She says, from school days, teacher always involved with my writing. I beg your pardon, teacher always in love with my writing. Hashtag NEAT. All the best, Sham White. To the phone lines once again, 876-922-4112-5. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for taking my call. May I first of all wish for you and your staff and your listeners all the best for the upcoming weekend period. I would like to discuss with you two central issues here this afternoon, but permit me to make two passing comments. I would like to commend you on giving a voice to the diaspora. Last week I heard one of your callers stating that your program is the only program that is on air that voice to that grouping overseas. He is commending you. I am joining him in commending you, Dervan. The second passing comment here, I would like to urge my fellow citizens to become very responsible. And if at any given time they see persons breaching the curfew hours, they have a direct responsibility to contact the police and to so report such breaches. It is in so doing that we can help to bring some law, order, and discipline to this entire process of observing the protocols and ensuring that all citizens understand the importance of adhering to the curfew hours. I am seeing instances where persons are breaching the curfew hours, and I have done the appropriate thing in my view, and I have reported the issue to the police. The first issue has to do with the Integrity Commission and some proposals that they made recently in their annual report. When Greg Christie was Contractor General, he performed exceptionally well, in my view, and was known very much across Jamaica as a fearless, highly professional, and a very hardworking public servant. It is my view that he's the most suitable person to head the commission, and I'm quite pleased with his performance thus far. I remember some time ago, just before him retiring as Contractor General, I wrote to him, and he immediately responded to me in a most professional manner. It is these sort of attributes that is required for public servants to have, and they will serve the citizens very well. In the report, Dervan, the Integrity Commission is proposing that lawmakers and designated government officials disclose other financial assets such as cryptocurrency and digital currency. I think that's a very important...
Digital currency.
Yes, my apologies. Digital currency and cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Very interesting proposal. The Integrity Commission as well wants parliamentarians and other government officials to submit financial statements related to companies for which they are owners or part owners. That's another interesting recommendation, Dervan. And further, and importantly in my view, the Integrity Commission has recommended that declarants submit information pertaining to the cost of property improvement, trust property, and blind trust, main contract or subcontract, any board membership, and whether the declarant is a politically exposed or connected person. That's another interesting proposal. Where I have a problem now, Dervan, the Integrity Commission would like for the Interception of Communications Act to be amended and to include in the Act the Integrity Commission to be a designated person under the Act, empowering the Integrity Commission to apply to a Supreme Court justice in chambers for wiretap warrants for persons that the Commission has under investigation. I do not think that this is necessary, and I think that the Integrity Commission, if it is Dervan wiretap warrants, if the investigation that the Integrity Commission is pursuing, if it reaches a stage whereby they need wiretap warrants, then
they can go to a judge and secure that.
No, the point which I'm making, Dervan, if the Integrity Commission needs reaches a stage within their investigation and they want wiretap warrants, they go to the police, or they could go to MOCO.
I don't think the police could do that. The police can't act without, as I understand it, a judge would have to give permission for that to take place.
The point which I'm making, Dervan.
I'm still not getting it. Sorry, go ahead.
Right. Under the Interception of Communications Act, the Commissioner of Police, the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of crime, and the head of Narcotics Division, and for the Army, the head of the Army, the Chief of Defense Staff, and the head of the Military Intelligence Unit. And as of last year, I think the Director General of MOCO, those persons alone are designated persons under the Interception of Communications Act who can go directly to a Supreme Court justice in chambers and apply for wiretap warrants for specific periods of time, and they would have to go for renewals. Now, the point which I'm making is that if it is that the Integrity Commission thinks it needs wiretap warrants on persons that they're investigating, then the appropriate thing for them to do is to go to MOCO or to go to the police, and then those officers within the police who have the authority would then proceed to the court to get warrants. But why would the Integrity Commission?
One moment, please.
Yes.
The Time by Medical Disposables and Supplies Limited, an official distributor of 3M Healthcare Solutions, 83 Hagley Park Road, Kingston 10, is 3 p.m.
Power Talk has been a unique source of discourse on matters of public interest, finding solutions to the challenges we face in a globalized world. Power Talk brings you the new host who will take talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Croskill from Wednesday to Friday as they provide a riveting analysis on the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for brand new features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the 21st century are being addressed. That's Dr. Herbert Gale Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Croskill Wednesday to Friday on Power Talk, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM.
Living in the positive.
There's a place for people like you.
Thanks for holding. Please continue.
Thank you very much, Dervan. I do not think that it is necessary for the Integrity Commission to be enlisted as a designated person into the interception of communication.
You don't think they should be added to the list?
No, not at all. What you're going to find happening, Dervan, you're going to have the Integrity Commission, and then you're going to have other agencies of government. You're going to have other agencies of government thinking it proper for them to be persons who should be included in the act. We have to be very careful to, when officers apply to the court for wiretap warrants, that's really a last resort, and that's really when high-level criminal investigations are taking place. We have to be careful that we don't, those officers that have the authority to go to the courts, we have to be careful that we do not give all and sundry the authority. So the Integrity Commission thinks they need data or information, go to the police or go to MOCA. Now, in regards to another, before I move on to one, please, the last proposal that I see them making, they are proposing in the fight against corruption within the private sector. The Commission is recommending that the government consider adopting legislation similar to that in the United Kingdom Bribery Act of 2010. And please permit me to read two sentences, please. Quote, in this regard, it is suggested that a strict liability offense be created for failure of a commercial organization to take preventative steps, guard against bribery involving its officials or any party acting on its behalf. This would result in tough criminal and civil sanctions being imposed upon private sector entities for the bribery of public officials and or any other person. I think that the government should seriously take a look at that law, Dervan, in the United Kingdom, the Bribery Act, and to see how best they could incorporate it here in Jamaica. But by and large, I think that the Integrity Commission is doing a good job. I heard Dr. Trevor Monroe today stating that, in his view, the Integrity Commission should have the discretion in law whether to publicize any person or persons or companies that the Commission is investigating. That would need to be ferreted out somewhat more, and that
one would think that they would have to be standing on solid ground before making such a declaration. Otherwise, they could be paying through their teeth.
Right, because the last time when we spoke on this issue regarding the question of whether persons who are being investigated, members of parliament, other officials, whether at the start of the investigations, whether their name should be published or it should be done at a later stage, where this has come up again with Dr. Monroe this morning. And he's also stating that, in his view, that private contractors who are in breach of their government contract, when there are shortfalls, major flaws, and failure to perform, that those contractors should be cross-barred from getting any other future government contract. And he stated that he wrote to the chairman of the Integrity Commission oversight having to do with these and other issues. So I am hoping that the Honorable Edmund Bartlett will respond accordingly. The other issue which I think is of worthy national note, you would have heard a few days ago, Dervan, and your listeners as well, that the police went to a particular location in Salem, I think it's called, which is a part of the Maroon settlement, based on what I have read. They seem to be of the view, the chief of the Maroons, Mr. Curry, seems to be of the view, Dervan, quite misguidedly, that the entire Maroon settlement is sovereign land.
Sorry, the connection is wobbling a bit.
Yes. Mr. Curry, the chief of the Maroons, he's of the view that the Maroon settlement, that those lands are sovereign lands, and that the police do not have the authority to enter those lands and to destroy any marijuana cultivation. I think he's quite misguided, Dervan. I heard the senior superintendent of police from the Constabulary Communications Network stating that the narcotics police went there to conduct an operation, and they have a right to go to any location in Jamaica where it is suspected that operations or cultivation of marijuana is occurring. So I'm a bit amazed that the chief of the Maroons, and you'd have, I see here, Mr. Paul Burke, is in the Observer of Thursday, August the 12th, that he is condemning this situation wherein the police went to that location to cut down trees, including cannabis plants.
Including or in particular cannabis or ganja?
Well, the Observer said members of the police force were accused of chopping down crops, including cannabis plants.
It sounds odd for them to be chopping down crops which are not problematic or considered to be problematic, like ganja.
But the point which I'm making, Dervan, this nonsensical, absurd, and ludicrous notion that the lands that the Maroons occupy in that local is sovereign land, the police have no authority to enter that location. Isn't that absurd?
Well, there's one way to put it to bed or put it to rest. Take it to the court. Have the court make up a ruling or a pronouncement on it, and that would be the end of the matter. I mean, barring appeals by the aggrieved party. But that's it. The court just needs to make a pronouncement, or either the Maroon chief and his team, or the government of Jamaica through the Attorney General just needs to get the court to make a ruling on that, and that should settle that matter once and for all.
Yes, absolutely. In closing, Dervan, it would be remiss of me if I did not commend the Narcotics Division. They have been working very, very, very hard since the start of the year. Recently, they had over 2,000 pounds of marijuana, I think, in Portland. They have my full support, and I urge the citizens of Jamaica to give them their full support. When we have units in the constabulary force that perform at a very high level, Dervan, we need to commend them, encourage them, and give them our full support. Thank you very much for taking my call, Dervan. And as I said before, please have a good weekend and all the best to your listeners here and overseas. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All the best. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. Let's check in with some more of your messages here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to, who is this now? Where did they go? Come back here. Let's bring this up and scroll through. Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine, tuned in as usual. Good afternoon. Author Andreen Bonner, greetings to you too. All the best. Carol in Calgary, Alberta, Canada says, what's on my mind? Beautiful song. Where did he say the streets are made of gold? I'm still waiting since 2002 for my mom to confirm such. That's loaded, Carol in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Thank you so much for your message. Carol Malcolm says, hi, Mr. Malcolm. Please say hello to my boss and the FTR Garment team, is it? FTR Garment. Give us a little more information there, Carol Malcolm. Beverly Bailey says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan, Malcolm, and all your listeners. Checking in from Atlanta. Blessings to you all. Thank you very much, Beverly Bailey, and all the other Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica in Atlanta, Georgia. Greetings to Annette Bless. Hyacinth Edwards Nicholas says, so sad. People need to be careful and follow rules and regulations. That's in relation to COVID-19. Celine Browning says, hi, Mr. Malcolm. Hello, Celine Browning. Good afternoon. Sophia Nemard, welcome. Carol Malcolm says, say hi to the FTR team. Miss Grace, Audrey, Julie, Miss Reed, and my boss. We all here listening to you. Well, we hope you've all heard your names. Carol, Audrey, Julie, Miss Grace, Miss Reed. Violet White says, good afternoon. Blessings, Dervan. To you too, Violet White. Love that song. Use it for Orkiwani's meeting, says Violet White. Georgia Dwyer, good afternoon to you. Violet White says, at Olga, blessings, my friend. Annette Bless says, we're in Portmore. I think the rest of the message got cut off, but I believe Annette might be asking about the vaccination or the vaccine. Where in Portmore? I don't know. I'm not sure if has the ministry put it up on their website. Let's take a look. We should be able to tell you after the break.
Streets are made of gold.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
It's riveting, thought-provoking, and interesting. It's the morning agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. Join Jody and Quarry on Mondays and Tuesdays and Sanjay Lewis on Wednesdays and Thursdays, while they alternate on Fridays as they set your agenda and break down the issues and keep you informed on what matters to you most. It's the morning agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. only on Power 106 FM. This Saturday, August 14, the Valerie Levy and Associates Limited presents the open house from 11:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Vineyards at Deanery, 50B to 50 and a quarter Deanery Road, Kingston. See studios, bedrooms, bathrooms, walking trails, rooftop entertainment, and much more. Mortgage banks will be on site. If you can't be there, tune in to Power 106 FM with Dervan Malcolm for a live broadcast from the event. This broadcast is brought to you by the Vineyards at Deanery, 50B to 50 and a quarter Deanery Road, Kingston. That's a live broadcast from the Vineyards at Deanery Open House this Saturday, August 14, right here on Power 106 FM.
Living in the positive,
Tune in every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. to midday for your legal corner with Dahlia Walker Huntington during Power Talk on Power 106 FM. You can call our numbers 876-922-4112 to 5. The text and WhatsApp line is 876-279-8598. You can also send an email at yourlegalcorner106@gmail.com. Join Your Legal Corner for all matters in relation to immigration to the United States. Here Dahlia offer great legal advice on your immigration queries and concerns. Learn about the filing process, when to file, and how to prepare for the move. That's Your Legal Corner, 11:30 to midday, every Thursday right here on Power 106 FM.
If you walk around with your heart on your sleeve, and if you're trying to be the change you want to see, if you lay down your life for love so someone could be saved, there's a place for people like you.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices earlier on. For the person who asked, who was it, who asked about vaccination center in Portmore, that was Annette Bless. Annette Bless asking vaccination where in Portmore. Well, I'm not seeing a specific location in Portmore itself, but there is a location for the parish of St. Catherine, of which Portmore is a part. And what we're seeing is Twickenham Park Open Bible Church in St. Catherine. Twickenham Park Open Bible Church. That's what we would suggest for you, Annette Bless. Twickenham Park Open Bible Church. That's in St. Catherine. And that's one that site will be open until 8 in the evening. That site at Twickenham Park Open Bible Church will be open until 8 o'clock in the evening. And there are other sites that have been identified. The sites that will, and this is, it's on. Let's see. There are 10 vaccination blitz sites which will operate until 8 p.m. on Monday and Tuesday. Hold on. I'm sorry. I think I'm looking at the wrong information here. Hold on. This is the Ministry of Health's website. No. Hold it there. No, this is, sorry about that, listeners. There is no, hold on, let me check this one, because I wasn't seeing that one we shared a while ago was actually dated. Here we go. This is it. All right, we have your information now. Annette Bless. Sorry about that. I think we just found your information. The information before was dated, so that wasn't the one that we wanted. So we have found it. Annette Bless, listen up to your location. Listen up for your location, so that this is for. There are 23 vaccination blitz sites across 11 parishes this weekend. 23 vaccination blitz sites across 11 parishes this weekend. Members of the public I think we read this part already for you earlier on. So let's go down to the sites that will open this weekend, starting tomorrow, the 14th of August, Saturday, the 14th of August. Those in St. Catherine, St. Jago Park Health Center, St. Jago Park Health Center, and those in Portmore Heart Academy. So St. Jago Park Health Center in, I would imagine, Spanish Town, yes, and Portmore Heart Academy for those in the municipality of Portmore and surrounding areas. Hope you got that, Annette Bless. Hope you got that. And St. Thomas, Jung Supermarket, Morant Bay Square, Morant Bay Health Center, and a Seaforth Health Center. That's St. Thomas, Jung Supermarket, Morant Bay Square, Morant Bay Health Center, and a Seaforth Health Center. Those in the corporate area, Kingston and St. Andrew, you have two sites, the National Arena and Maxfield Park Health Center. The National Arena and Maxfield Park Health Center in the corporate area. St. Mary, one location, the Anglican Church. St. Mary Anglican Church, the eponymous St. Mary Anglican Church. Portland, one location, Buff Bay Health Center. Buff Bay Health Center, Portland. St. Anne, your location is the Bel Air Farms Market. I'm seeing Farms Market as opposed to Farmers Market. Not sure if that's an error. Bel Air, BELL hyphen or dash AIRE. Bel Air Farms Market. Bel Air Farms Market. In Clarendon, Denby Primary School and the Spalding Health Center. That's Denby Primary School and the Spalding Health Center in Clarendon. In St. Elizabeth, Barbary Hall Community Center, Santa Cruz Health Center, Black River Health Center, and Junction Health Center. So the health centers in Santa Cruz, Black River, and Junction, as well as the community center at Barbary Hall in St. Elizabeth, those are vaccination points in St. Elizabeth. In Manchester, the Mandeville Regional Hospital. Mandeville Regional Hospital. In St. James, Sandals Inn. Sandals Inn in St. James, and also the Type 5 Health Center. Sandals Inn and the Type 5 Health Center in St. James. In Hanover, Lucy Health Center. Lucy Health Center in Hanover. Now, these locations will be open tomorrow. Tomorrow, Saturday the 14th. Tomorrow, Saturday the 14th. All of those locations we listed from the various in the various parishes. For Sunday, listen carefully now. For Sunday the 15th, the vaccination blitz site in the corporate area will be the National Arena. National Arena only for Sunday. On Sunday the 15th, National Arena only in the corporate area. St. Anne, I thought it was an error because earlier on it said Farms, Bel Air Farms Market. Now I'm seeing Bel Air Farmers Market. So in St. Anne, Bel Air Farmers Market only on Sunday the 15th. Bel Air Farmers Market in St. Anne only. That's the only site on Sunday, the only vaccination site on Sunday. Also on Sunday, the lone vaccination blitz site in Clarendon will be Denby Primary School. Denby Primary School in Clarendon, the lone vaccination blitz site. Denby Primary School. In Manchester, the Mandeville Regional Hospital for Sunday the 15th. Let's see. Hope you got that. Once again, here's a reminder that where did we? We had shared with you the information with respect to where we are. If anybody asks and you wish to give them the accurate numbers from the Ministry of Health and Wellness with respect to vaccinations and where we are with vaccinations. Where we are with vaccinations, we are, as at 9 o'clock this morning. Obviously, the numbers would have changed since then, but this is the most recent number we have, or these are the most recent numbers we have. As at 9 o'clock this morning, the island's vaccination numbers were up to 393,863. As at 9 o'clock this morning, 393,863 Jamaicans had been vaccinated. So you can put 393,863 divided by what's our population, approximately 2.8 million, and then multiplied by 100 to get the percentage. But that still doesn't tell the full story, because of the 393,863 vaccinations administered, 258,466 were first doses. 258,466 were first doses. 134,462 were second doses. 134,462 second doses, and 935 single doses. 935 single doses. So those are the numbers and the vaccination sites for this weekend. We hope you caught all the information that we shared. And that all started with a question from Annette Bless on Facebook Live. That's what we're here for, to share accurate information with you, our faithful listeners at home and abroad. Jovial Jose Arsenault says, "Blessed love, sir. First time on your program. Have a wonderful weekend." Josephine Arsenault. Josephine is a French name, and so too Arsenault. Arsenault. You wouldn't pronounce the T. Arsenault. Josephine. Hello, Josephine. How do you do? And she says, "Thank you, sir. I'm also left-handed." Well, happy International Left-Handers Day to you too, Josephine. Melissa M. Williams says, "Have a wonderful day." And you do the same, Melissa M. Williams. There's more after the break.
You contribute directly to Jamaica's national development when you pay your customs duties. Let's all do our part in keeping the wheels of our economy turning. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 3:30.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness invites members of the public to visit a vaccination blitz site to receive a first or second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Appointments are preferred. Walk-ins are welcomed. Saturday, August 14th, St. Catharines, St. Jacob Park Health Center, and the Portmore Heart Academy, St. Thomas, June Supermarket, Morant Bay Square, Morant Bay Health Center, and the Seaforth Health Center, Kingston and St. Andrew, National Arena, and the Maxfield Park Health Center, St. Mary, the St. Mary Anglican Church, Portland, Buff Bay Health Center, St. Anne, Bellier Farms Market, Clarendon, Denby Primary School, and the Spalding Health Center, St. Elizabeth, Barbary Hall Community Center, Santa Cruz Health Center, Black River Health Center, and the Junction Health Center, Manchester, the Mandeville Regional Hospital, St. James, Sandals Inn, and Type 5 Health Center, Hanover, Lucy Health Center. On Sunday, August 15, Kingston and St. Andrew, the National Arena, St. Anne, Belair Farmers Market, Clarendon, Denby Primary School, Manchester, the Mandeville Regional Hospital. Persons should take their TRN, a government-issued identification card, letter from a Justice of the Peace, and vaccination card to the sites. The Ministry of Health and Wellness thanks the public for their cooperation.
Sipa copper.
Sipa copper?
Yes, sipa copper.
Sipa copper what?
Sipa copper Ital Jamaican Moringa tea bags.
Sipa copper Moringa, turmeric, vervine, neem, and guinea hen wheat tea bags today. Sipa copper tea is available in supermarkets island-wide. So Sipa copper today. You'll be happy you did.
Distributed by Caramed Group Limited.
You asked, we listened. You said you wanted back the additional hour. Dear Pastor returns to its usual time from 10 p.m. until midnight.
Oh boy,
Your thoughts on topical issues, relationship matters, questions you want answered, pertinent advice. It all comes together on Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas.
Hello.
Hello, Pastor.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Well, you may ask me a question, I may or may not answer.
He returns to keep your company from 10 p.m. until midnight, right here on Power 106 FM. This Saturday, August 14, the Valerie Levy and Associates Limited presents the open house from 11:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Vineyards at Deanery, 50B to 50 and a quarter, Deanery Road, Kingston. See studios, bedrooms, bathrooms, walking trails, rooftop entertainment, and much more. Mortgage banks will be on site. If you can't be there, tune in to Power 106 FM with Dervan Malcolm for a live broadcast from the event. This broadcast is brought to you by the Vineyards at Deanery, 50B to 50 and a quarter, Deanery Road, Kingston. That's a live broadcast from the Vineyards at Deanery Open House this Saturday, August 14, right here on Power 106 FM.
And when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place out there for people like you.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Cleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Let's go to the WhatsApp line. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon. Blessed love to you and world audience, radio audience.
Good afternoon.
Two things I'm on I love talk to today about, Give thanks greatly for Marcus Messiah Garvey, that black philosopher, mighty world leader, who come to show and I, as a people, black people, that we are not jabbers, not beggars, but masters of creation. Man say action, self-reliance, the vision of self and the future as being the only means and ways by which the oppressed and I black people have seen and realized a light of our own freedom, self-reliance. So we're calling upon the labor force here in Jamaica, who the business community, private slave masters, and the government of Jamaica, who them do country. We call them to show them people power. We want to show them people power, So we're calling upon the labor force to stay at them yard and do God them work, and we could see how them going to work it out, Well, we have power.
A lot of that is happening already. A lot of people are working from home.
I'm not talking about working from home. Don't do no work for them. Stay our yard. And ban with belly. Because we not go dead. If even for 3 days, and show them people power. Like our Prime Minister, most honorable Prime Minister Andrew Holness, I talk about him go lock down country. We want to show them people power. Show them the power of I, the labor force in this country, you know. Because if we stay our yard and don't go work for 3 days, then they will say who he is. And that we must be respected in this judgment here. Because they go like we are nothing.
So you will be staying, when will you and others you're inviting to join you be starting this sit-in at home? When does it start?
Not sitting at home. Not sitting.
What?
Stop from work.
Right, stop from work. Stop from work. When? What is that?
Stop from the business community. We're showing the business community, sending a message to them.
Yes, I got that. But I'm asking you when are you planning this for? When will you start the...
No, we are not me, we're calling upon all my black brothers and sisters, the labor force,
yes,
to
but
exercise
when?
our power.
But when?
Any day now, when you see it possible, you know, to do so, to send a message to the government of Jamaica, Queen Elizabeth government, Prime Minister Andrew Holness and him colleagues, them, people power in this country, you know.
Right.
Show them our power. Like we don't go to work. If we don't go to work, what am I going to do? Send them police and soldier come force you to work.
No, they might. We still have quite a few unemployed Jamaicans, so they might very well call for those unemployed Jamaicans.
We're talking about those who working for the government.
No, but I'm saying to you, for those, if there are those who want to follow your lead and stay away from work for 3 days or however long, I'm saying to you that chances are the employers will look to others for employment.
Others
like those who are unemployed now.
But the unemployed wouldn't be so foolish. That's why them divide us amongst ourselves. In a Labour and PMP, and the man say us divided amongst the self-Kurdistan. That's why we're calling for African unity, a black consciousness of ourselves as who we is, as a nation of people, you know? The first ruling power upon earth, who brings civilization to the world, the father and mother of mankind, the first humanity, you know? A slavery and colonialization bring me to this. But them have we as jobbers and beggars, as here the business community are married and the government, so them marry the vaccine. If you don't work for them don't want to hear it on the radio, not too long. So I say, if you don't take the vaccine, people can't come out of the yard, come work.
No, but hold on now. Hold on. I would have to have a say whether I let you into my yard. If it's my place, if it's my home, you can't just tell me because you have been working for me that you can just step into my yard. There comes a time when I can say to you, I could very well say to you, please, I am not going to allow you into my yard. It's my yard.
And I agree with you 100%. So we want to show them our power.
Right.
By not working for them, make them do them own work themselves, clean them own baby mess and carry them home garbage to themselves. We want to show them our power. You know? That we want to show them people power as a working population here in Jamaica. Or if you want to say, sweet it up and call it educated labor force in Jamaica here. You know, from the days of slavery until now.
Right.
You know? Because without us, they don't have no economy. The labor force of Jamaica. Them have a work out for cheap labor. And if it comes to the test, we're going back to work. All our needs and wants must be up on the table. All our bad to raise up to a better standard of living for us as black people must be up on the table. You know, and show them respect. You know?
Yeah.
Let them respect us as a nation of people in this country here. The next thing I want to say to you differently. I hear Queen Elizabeth, Prime Minister, not the Prime Minister, pardon, Security Minister, speaking last night, said Maroon, no have no land here. No land is near Maroon land. Right? But I want to tell him.
But technically speaking,
no Maroon.
Technically speaking, that is not true. There's land that has been earmarked and set aside for the Maroons. There's no question about that. What is yet untested? Is the status of such property post 1962. Whatever arrangements were made would have been made before 1962. And the question now is, does what obtained before 1962, is that still in force or still in effect since 1962, the 6th of August 1962? A court will have to make a ruling. A court would have to make a ruling. Hold on. A court would have to make a ruling on that. No. That would be the best solution.
And that court will be Queen Elizabeth Court. Queen Elizabeth reigned and ruled Jamaica from 1962. And Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party form our government. Current Prime Minister, Andrew Holness and his cabinet, and our loyal opposition, Mark Golding. So Queen Elizabeth succeed, sent King George. So this is the same people ruling over us, the African population here in Jamaica. Never changed. Independent was bogus, because you couldn't get independent, and our black people couldn't independent in our next man country, in our next man land, in our Arawak land, in this judgment. And at the same time, you say you get independent, and Queen Elizabeth reigned and ruled from 1964. And the government here in Jamaica is Queen Elizabeth government. As you see, him call him Honorable Prime Minister, appoint him to be the Privy Council, and the Privy Council as an advisor, So I just strictly I go on from them time, they not use us and refuse us. Because the people them who call themselves Maroon, no, Maroon never come from Africa. Come down here in Jamaica in the 15th, 16th centuries. It's African people. Maroon is a Jamaican thing. You know see it? Although the history show us what them do, us as black brothers and sisters.
The history is actually deeper than that, but that will take some getting into if we were to start that now. The history, the very word, if the etymology of the word maroon, but perhaps another time for that.
Yeah, no maroon never really come from Africa. That is the reality. Come here, is black people, African sons and daughters come here in chattel.
Yes.
Through the middle package. And inhumane treatment. So Maroon is a Jamaican thing. So where the security minister talk, I plainly say, I, black people, don't have no land at Jamaica because the land belongs to Queen Elizabeth. Jamaica is owned by Queen Elizabeth from 1962. So I'm sure so we as black people don't have no land here. That's why the parliament, Jamaica government sell land too much in millions of dollars. A parliamentary land price.
One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45.
Exporters, have you heard? Certificates of origin are now online. Starting August 23, 2021, all exporters requiring a certificate of origin from the Trade Board Limited must submit their application using the Jamaica Single Window for Trade, J-SWIFT. All locally manufactured goods and agricultural produce for export must have an authorized certificate of origin in order to access and obtain preferential treatment in other territories and markets. Traders, your benefits include greater convenience and faster processing time, online application, payment and approval, online access to the approved certificate of origin, and a system-generated CARICOM invoice. For more details, contact J-SWIFT at info@jswift.gov.jm. Jamaica Single Window for Trade. J-SWIFT, your window to trade.
This Saturday, August 14th, the Valerie Levy and Associates Limited presents the open house from 11:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Vineyards at Deanery, 50B to 50 and a quarter, Deanery Road, Kingston. See studios, bedrooms, bathrooms, walking trails, rooftop entertainment, and much more. Mortgage banks will be on site. If you can't be there, tune in to Power 106 FM with Dervan Malcolm for a live broadcast from the event. This broadcast is brought to you by the Vineyards at Deanery, 50B to 50 and a quarter, Deanery Road, Kingston. That's a live broadcast from the Vineyards at Deanery Open House this Saturday, August 14, right here on Power 106 FM.
Dr. Jackie Campbell is on call Wednesday evenings at 8 with Powering Your Health this Wednesday, August 18. Family physicians Dr. Pauline Williams-Green and Dr. Garth Rattray will join us to continue the COVID-19 conversation. Also hear Dr. Winston Delahaye on the impact of COVID-19 and the mental health of young adults. Learn about the aspects of the memory and more on Powering Your Health this Wednesday, August 18 at 8 p.m. only on Power 106 FM. Powering Your Health, a fresh perspective on matters affecting your overall health and well-being.
If you stand up for those down on their knees.
Yes, sir. Thanks for holding. Let's see if we can wrap now, please.
Yes, and give thanks to your patient hearing and wrap up attention. So I say, Parliament here in Jamaica, after we slave in this country, from the days of slavery without compensation, them sell us land to millions of dollars. And if you can't pay them, then call the squatters and anyway you go leave them bulldozer you down. You know, a corrupt and unjust society, Queen Elizabeth government here in Jamaica, rule over an African population. So we give thanks greatly right now for Africa cautiously opening our doors to receive our black subject from out of the Western world here, African unity. You know, see it? Namibia, Ghana, who declared 2019 the year of return, and we give thanks to Nigeria, who come to say, them come to promote a people-to-people arrangement, you know, where we could have reason ourselves to arrive for the Black Star Line come in the harbor, because the shipping companies in Ghana. And we give thanks foundationally to the Emperor of Ethiopia, who laid the foundation 1966, and him come here, you know, and accept us, receive us as a people. So we are blood brothers and sisters, and him say the progress of us as black people to move on to a greater progress. That black African redemption power when come here, come say 1966, you know, invite us to dinner at King's house and bestowed upon us the imperial Lion of Judah golden insignia to represent him. You know, see, it means strength and pride of an African sovereignty, kingship, knighthood, the authority to govern ourselves, you know. So I and I black people in this country is not rule under British sovereignty, British monarchy, you know. We must find ourselves under the banners, Marcus Garvey banners of the red, gold and green, and the red, black and green banner for the redemption, for the future. You know, we gather ourselves to the future under these banners, independent banners, where we can stand up as an independent African nation with our principle, freedom, redemption, and international repatriation. Our black sons and daughters must return home to our...
Hello? Must have been the end of the credit. Sorry about that. All the best. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Let's clear the constant backlog of messages. We're trying our best to make sure we get in your comments, questions, thoughts, ideas, suggestions, criticisms. Andrew Lyons says, Mr. Malcolm, good afternoon. The yellow painting on the side of the street all over Kingston, does it have a meaning? Could you please tell me and Jamaicans, especially motorists, what it means? Yes, essentially no stopping, much less parking no stopping. Move and keep on moving. That's pretty much what it means. Like the amber, well, I say like, but similar color. Amber or yellow, as we like to say, does not mean go, neither does it mean stop. It's a caution light, essentially indicating that if you are over the stop line, you know these lines on the road, the stop line at the intersection, at any intersection, if you are over the stop line, as the light changes to amber, keep going and clear the intersection. Keep going. If you are behind the line as the light is changing, just stay behind the line. So amber doesn't mean stop, neither does it mean go. It means be careful. Be careful. If you're already over the line, keep the stop line, keep going. If you're behind the line, then stay behind the line until you get the green light to go. That's essentially it. But you're right, we totally disregard, too many of us totally disregard the yellow painted sidewalks. We're not supposed to stop, much less park along the road where there are yellow markings on the sidewalks. That's pretty much it. Thank you for bringing that to our attention, Andrew Lyons. Carol Boyth in Calgary, Alberta, Canada says, not sure why people think COVID is finished with them. Hashtag NOT. Wake up, folks. Wear your mask and get vaccinated, says Carol in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Michael Carter, somewhere in the US. Where is Michael again these days? Michael Carter. Is it Canada or the US? Please tell us, Michael Carter. And good afternoon to you and happy Friday to you too. Beverly Bailey says, hello, Sister Vi. Oh, that's Violet White. She says there's a place for people like you. And she has some praying hands emojis. Carol says, Dervan, people refusing to take vaccination should sign waiver saying if struck by COVID, they will not seek medical care at hospital. After all, they do not believe in science. So why seek it after the fact in hospital? Why seek it after the fact in hospital? Carol in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, appealing to the conscience of the unvaccinated. Thank you for your message. Violet White agrees. She says, food for thought, deep thought. Lady Jean in Moneague, St. Anne says, good afternoon, Dervan and the team of Power 106. Thankfully, I have a smartphone by which I can be in tune to your program. Power 106 radio is a no for us in sections of St. Anne. Thank you for being the special host you have been over the years. Keep safe. Blessings. Your kind sentiments are appreciated. Carol, I beg your pardon, Jean, Lady Jean in Moneague, St. Anne, will post your message in the transmission WhatsApp group so that they are reminded of the work that still needs to be done with respect to Power 106 FM's transmission system, which has been taking a beating for some time now. We have shared that message. Let's move on. So the team in charge of the transmission network has been messaged. What's happening here? There we go. Pauline Edwards Walters, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hello to Violet White once again. So happy to see vaccines are available in Jamaica, she says. Hopefully, we have everyone. And she asks, do they need appointments, Dervan? Yeah, the Ministry of Health does ask that people make appointments online by going to, what's that website address? By going to the Ministry of Health and Wellness's website, moh.gov.jm. They don't want to load it up too much, but I'll tell you what don't want to load up too much. They don't want to load up too much the fact that no one will be turned away. But they really need those of us going to these vaccination sites to register online. Because remember, Jamaica is part of a global situation where the proper data collection is important to help to inform the decisions that are made going forward, not just here in Jamaica, but in the rest of the world. So the data gathering is important for our country, for the state to make data-driven decisions. The citizens must participate in these procedures, like registering for vaccination. So ideally, and in a perfect world, and importantly, the ministry is encouraging us to sign up for vaccination, to register, to go online and make that appointment online. But again, although they don't want to load it up too much, no one will be turned away, because we're having now, there is going to become, we have a significant number of vaccine doses right now. And that number is going to go up considerably over the next few days and couple of weeks. So it means there will be much more. So we're not suffering at this stage, and perhaps will not be suffering, all things being well, over the next couple of weeks or so and going forward as far as vaccines are concerned, because confirmed shipments are on their way already, if not being stored properly for shipment in the coming week and weeks. So by all means, make the appointments. It's important for logistics. It's important to prepare the people at your vaccination center. So when they look online, they can see, 100 people have signed up for vaccinations at this center. So if they had 50 doses of vaccine, they will know that they need to top it up by the time they start administering the medicine. That's the idea. Thank you, Violet, for the question. Let's see who else is here. Carol says, Violet White, it should be done. A gentleman in US was livid yesterday. His wife with stage 4 cancer was sent home due to overflow of COVID patients. It's alleged many are anti-vaxxers. If they don't believe in the science, why go to the hospital? As old-time grandparents would say, there's picnic Yam Rockstone. The hospital should #refuse them, insists Carol in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. That would be inhumane, Carol. That would be inhumane. Even an accused who would have fired at the police and wounded in that exercise needs to be be treated at hospital. Do you get the point, Carol? So it is. Even in war, there are rules.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4:01 on Power 106.
Exporters, have you heard? Certificates of origin are now online. Starting August 23, 2021, all exporters requiring a certificate of origin from the Trade Board Limited must submit their application using the Jamaica Single Window for Trade, J-SWIFT. All locally manufactured goods and agricultural produce for export must have an authorized certificate of origin in order to access and obtain preferential treatment in other territories and markets. Traders, your benefits include greater convenience and faster processing time, online application, payment, and approval, online access to the approved certificate of origin, and a system-generated CARICOM invoice. For more details, contact J-SWIFT at info@jswift.gov.jm. Jamaica Single Window for Trade. J-SWIFT, your window to trade.
You asked, we listened. You said you wanted back the additional hour. Dear Pastor returns to its usual time from 10 p.m. until midnight.
Oh boy,
Your thoughts on topical issues, relationship matters, questions you want answered, pertinent advice. It all comes together on Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas.
Hello.
Hello, Pastor.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Where you may ask me a question, I may or may not answer.
He returns to keep your company from 10 p.m. until midnight, right here on Power 106 FM. It's riveting, thought-provoking, and interesting. It's the morning agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. Join Jody and Quarry on Mondays and Tuesdays, and Sanjay Lewis on Wednesdays and Thursdays, while they alternate on Fridays, as they set your agenda and break down the issues and keep you informed on what matters to you most. It's the morning agenda on Power 106 FM. Weekdays, 7:15 to 9 a.m. only on Power 106 FM.
And when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like you. If you walk around with your heart on your sleeve, and if you're trying to be the change you want to see, if you lay down your life for love so someone could be saved, there's a place for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like you.
Que hora es en español? Son las 4:05. Son las 4:05. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 4:05. 现在几点了？4点05分. 5 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Carol says the gentleman speaking on the maroon JCF is hypocritical. Why is he thinking it's absurd? Chief Curry has all right to protect his people. Wait a minute. Isn't marijuana legal in most places? Do you mean most places in Jamaica or most places in the world, Carol? There's a specified quantity that is allowed here in Jamaica. And it is those that at that quantity, it has been decriminalized, but it is still very much illegal to operate a farm or any enterprise involving marijuana, ganja, cannabis. You get the picture. Yeah. Let's bear that in mind. Thank you for your message. She goes on. Violet says, Carol Boeth, I agree with the scientists' part, but we take an oath when we choose the healthcare profession as our jobs. The essential point we were trying to make earlier on. Beresford Henriquez says, Hail, Brother Dervan, it's not correct that whatever laws were enforced in Jamaica before independence and were not expressly abolished or amended by the Constitution remained in force? Hold on. Are you asking, is it not correct that whatever laws in Jamaica before independence and were not expressly abolished remained in force? Challenge it, Beresford Henriquez. Perhaps until you challenge it, and what kind of documentation do we have? And when you're talking about law, Beresford Henriquez, anything is possible, including everything. Anything. All right, anything is possible. Let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. We know every year close to 300, well, before COVID-19 at least, close to 300 medical missions, Jamaican in the diaspora and Friends of Jamaica, engage in about, close to 300 or more medical missions. And a few years ago, arising out of one of the biennial Jamaica diaspora conferences and the subsequent establishment of the health task force, out of all of that came the Adopt a Clinic program. The Adopt a Clinic program. And that program has reaped some success. And in fact, there's more success. And that's why we have invited Reverend Paul Peart to join us at this time. Sorry, we're unable to connect with Reverend Johnson. Not sure what's happening there. If he's in Jamaica, we would have to think that he's enjoying Jamaica and maybe not remembering that he's supposed to be on with us. I don't know if you could speak for him, Reverend Paul Peart. Good afternoon. Welcome home. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir, and thanks for welcoming me home. I'm happy to be with you. I apologize for Reverend Johnson. He is on another mission leg right now. He's offloading a container of supplies that we brought home to Jamaica. So that he's busy. He's tied up.
Well, he has our full permission and authority to act accordingly.
All right.
And it's good to talk with you. Can you give us an idea of how you and Reverend Johnson and your church came to be involved in this Adopt a Clinic program, please?
Yes. Well, first of all, greetings, Jamaica. We are a very active church. Well, I should say, first of all, we're native Jamaicans who migrated years ago, but have always sought to connect by coming back to Jamaica regularly to do some kind of mission because we are a part of a church. And so I personally attended one of the conferences in Jamaica, and I heard about several initiatives that Jamaica was launching involving the diaspora. And among them was tree planting and Farm Up Jamaica and Blue Economy, all kind of things, including Adopt a Clinic. And so I was so elated when I heard about these things. And when I went back to the States, I called my church together and I engaged them in getting involved. And so that is how we came to land upon the Adopt a Clinic program. So what also happened was that Pastor Glad, he's actually from the Gordon Town area, someplace of a red light or someplace like that. I don't know. I'm from Manchester myself.
Yes.
And so we got in touch with through the diaspora leader in New York, that is Dr. Karen Dunkley. We got in touch with Minister Courtney Cephas, who heads up the Adopt a Clinic program, and he made us aware of the whole program, the number of clinics in Jamaica, the whole healthcare sector, and how many clinics out of the over 300 plus that needs to be adopted. And so we decided to adopt one of them on the list to start. And because Pastor Glad is from that area, because I could have chosen to do Manchester, but because I'm not so partial, we decided to go with where he's from, and we chose the Gordon Town Health Center, I believe, and we got exposed to the details, the ins and outs, the policies, procedures, and so forth and so on, and then we agreed to adopt the clinic.
So you don't subscribe to Pass and Christening Picnic first, so you allowed that one to pass.
Exactly, because
Yes.
again, my church in New York, which is named New Testament Temple Church of God, it is related to New Testament Church of God in Jamaica. In fact, the church was founded by migrants from Jamaica, from the New Testament Church of God. And the thing is that our church has members from all over Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
So I could not be so obviously biased by choosing one from Christian per se.
Yes.
I have to be more magnanimous and choose one that I'm not directly associated with. Because if I do that, then it will turn off people.
Understood.
Right?
Well put. All right. So now you just mentioned a container. We're anxious to hear of the contents of this container and so much more about the work that the New Testament Temple Church of God has been doing in the diaspora and obviously by extension right here in Jamaica. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15. Battling life's storm is never easy. Insurance can be a hassle. Axia Jamaica Limited is your calm within the storm. They partner with you to cover your life the way you envisioned it. Axia Insurance for home, motor, life, property, and more. Forging new partnerships. Axia Jamaica Insurance Agency. Telephone 876-978-5906 or 876-978-4569.
Beneficiaries, the PATH payment cycle begins on August 23, and post offices and payment agencies will deliver payments based on last names up to September 10. Check the Friday Star to find out when and where you should collect. If you miss your date, you can collect on September 9 or 10. Take a government ID and don't forget your mask. For more information, call PATH at 876-922-8007 or visit the ministry's website and Facebook page. PATH, advancing your family, developing Jamaica. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
Dr. Jackie Campbell is on call Wednesday evenings at 8 with Powering Your Health this Wednesday, August 18. Family physicians Dr. Pauline Williams-Green and Dr. Garth Rattray will join us to continue the COVID-19 conversation. Also hear Dr. Winston Delahaye on the impact of COVID-19 and the mental health of young adults. Learn about the aspects of the memory and more on Powering Your Health this Wednesday, August 18 at 8 p.m. only on Power 106 FM. Powering Your Health, a fresh perspective on matters affecting your overall health and well-being.
There's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, yeah, there's a place up there for people like you. I know you're out there, so keep doing what you do. 'Cause there's a place up there for people like you.
Que ora es en espagnol. Son las 4:17. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:17. Tiens, TDN le. CDN Shi Fen. 17 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? Yes, young people. We know it's summer. You're on a break now. But you know what we always say? Even when school is out, homework is always in. Because homework is about preparation. And proper preparation prevents poor performance. And as we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. And let's continue our conversation with Reverend Paul Peart, senior pastor of the New Testament Temple Church of God. His church is based in the Bronx, New York, and the New Testament Temple Church of God as a whole supports the Ministry of Health and Wellness's Adopt a Clinic program. And as you've heard already, Gordontown Health Center has been adopted. And we're going to hear more on that in a moment. But I wanted to hear about the container that is being cleared as we speak, Reverend Peart.
Mm-hmm.
What's contained in that container?
Well, let me speak generally, saying that in the past several years.
The line not cooperating now. Not sure what happened there. Let's see if we can get back to steady.
Yes.
There we go. Much better. Yes.
All right. So over the past several years, we have shipped about 8 containers to Jamaica, because we try to come home every year or so to do what we call mission trips. Usually we do VBS and giveaways to the youth that are going back to school. And what else we can ship down in barrels and so forth. We usually do that because we didn't think that we should come to Jamaica with 2 long hands and a bag of birds.
Oh, you know the expression. I used to hear my mother say, come with your 2 long hands. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes, so usually we try to source things like back and school supplies for children going back to school, and whatever else we can get together. Some years ago, we brought school uniforms or shoes or stuff like that.
Yes.
So this is we actually ship down a container because of the COVID situation. We understand that shipping food and stuff like that is rather difficult these days. And so because I personally from country, from Manchester, from Shudley, I know what hunger is, know what naked. And so whenever I hear that hungry or cases, I can't but feel for them and to respond as Christ would respond. So we decided to have
Sorry, the line is misbehaving again. We've been trying to hear you, but every now and then there's a dip.
Yes.
Yes, but let's see if it works itself out.
Right. So we decided this year that we would actually ship a container full of not only clothing, we have food, we have supplies for kids, but of course, even a container, a drop in the bucket, where a whole country, Jamaica, is concerned. We have to be very sensitive if we partner and make contributions, and so I hope that answers the question.
Yes, indeed. Can we just ring you back? Hold the line, please. Let's see if we can just call back, and the experts tell us what chances are we will get a better line, because there are thousands of cell signals, and sometimes that's all it takes. Just a call back, and the line should clear, because we don't want to miss a word of what Reverend Paul Peart, senior pastor, Reverend Paul Peart of the New Testament Church of the New Testament Temple Church of God, has been saying. Right, so that's the container. With respect to the adopting Gordontown Health Center, did you have a formal mini ceremony of sorts today? Is that what happened, or yesterday, or is that to come?
Yes, that happened today. We were supposed to go to the health center in Garden Town, but because the roads are out, we had to shift the date and the location. We actually had it at the office of the Prime Minister on this morning, and so we had the ceremony, yes.
Right. And what does it mean to adopt a clinic? What is expected of the adopter, so to speak?
Yes. So we made a commitment, say, for 4 years to actually give in cash or kind $1 million per year. And so we...
Whoa, slow down, Pastor. You said $1 million?
I made a mistake. Million Jamaican dollars per year.
$1 million, that's still a lot of money. $1 million Jamaican dollars per day.
Per year.
I beg your pardon. Per year. I mean, you see, the number just got to my head there, and I'm going, hold on, this is a serious commitment.
Yes, and that is the start, because we expect to be able to do more in the future, especially if we're able to encourage other churches and other organizations to do likewise. So this is why it's so important to do this interview, so the word will get out to other communities, that all of us need to rally together to help to lift up Jamaica.
No question about that. And are there particular needs you are aware of at this time with respect to the Gordontown Health Center that you are or have been or will be feeding into as far as support is concerned?
So I'm not as clear on the exact details, but yes, we understood that they needed some equipment, they needed some refrigerators and the like. But you'd have to contact the clinic directly to get the full details of what they need. But I'm sure that, because they made it onto the list of 100 of the most needy clinics in Jamaica, and so we decided to adopt them.
And perhaps a word on your church. How has the church been managing in these turbulent times?
Well, our church is actually a very interesting church because, say, for instance, when the pandemic hit New York, it was very, very severe, and all churches were told to close down, and everyone was told to shelter in place. But our church, we actually have another organization beside it that is called Good Neighbors. And that is an organization the church launched in 2001 to be able to answer the needs of people, whether it be for food or clothing or housing in New York, because there are needy people all over the world. And especially when people newly migrate to a country, you know, it takes a while for them to get on their feet, and they can actually suffer. And so because we've been there for quite a while, we decided to have a non-profit organization to answer those needs. So among the things that we do is that we have a food pantry. Now, before the pandemic, we were serving about 200 families per week. When the pandemic hit, the numbers climbed to about 2,000 families per week would come to our church for assistance with food supplies.
My word, what a jump!
Right. Not only that, but we also assisted about 30 other churches across New York to start up their pantries. And until this day, we are still partially supplying them with food for distributions in New York. Mm. So when the pandemic hit and most churches closed their doors, we had to ask the question, should we close also? And if we close, what will those people do that come to us each week? And so we called around to the public officials, explaining to them the situation. And what they said is that our church is an essential organization, and we can stay open as long as we observe the COVID protocols and restrictions. And so all COVID pandemic long, we have never closed our doors for one Sunday. In fact, because of the pantry, we open 5 to 6 days a week to facilitate the needs of those who are needy. So that is just a small part of how our church has what we've been doing in this pandemic. Secondly, when I considered as a pastor about sheltering in place, I then heard that a lot of our members, most of them are Jamaican, they work in the healthcare field, and most of them are women. And they have to wake up in the morning and go out on the front line of the hospitals, the nursing homes, and they were reporting their fear because they see people dying around them every single day. And when I heard that, I had to make a decision that as a shepherd, how could I allow the females to go out and face the danger while I, the shepherd, am sheltering in place? And so my wife and I made the decision that no, if the women in my church can go out and face the danger, then as a shepherd, I have to go out and face that danger too. Because after all, during the pandemic, after the pandemic, and before the pandemic, these members of my church come and faithfully give their offering and tithe. And so I could not feel comfortable after the danger passed, when I was hiding myself and keeping myself safe, to out of good conscience take the offering to feed myself while they put themselves in danger.
Again, so, magnanimity at work there. One moment, please. Let's take the break and come back.
Cannot speak. If you shine a little light, give sight to the ones who've lost their way.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
You asked, we listened. You said you wanted back the additional hour. Dear Pastor returns to its usual time from 10 p.m. until midnight.
Oh boy, you know.
Your thoughts on topical issues, relationship matters, questions you want answered, pertinent advice. It all comes together on Dear Pastor with Reverend Dr. Aaron Dumas.
Hello.
Hello, Pastor.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Where you may ask me a question, I may or may not answer.
He returns to keep your company from 10 p.m. until midnight, right here on Power 106 FM.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness invites members of the public to visit a vaccination blitz site to receive a first or second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Appointments are preferred. Walk-ins are welcomed. Saturday, August 14th, St. Catherine, St. Jacob Park Health Center, and the Portmore Heart Academy, St. Thomas, June Supermarket, Morant Bay Square, Morant Bay Health Center, and the Seaforth Health Center. Kingston and St. Andrew, National Arena, and the Maxfield Park Health Center. St. Mary, the St. Mary Anglican Church. Portland, Buff Bay Health Center, St. Anne, Bellier Farms Market, Clarendon, Denby Primary School, and the Spalding Health Center. St. Elizabeth, Barbary Hall Community Center, Santa Cruz Health Center, Black River Health Center, and the Junction Health Center. Manchester, the Mandeville Regional Hospital, St. James, Sandals Inn, and Type 5 Health Center. Hanover, Lucy Health Center. On Sunday, August 15, Kingston and St. Andrew, the National Arena, St. Anne, Belair Farmers Market, Clarendon, Denby Primary School, Manchester, the Mandeville Regional Hospital. Persons should take their TRN, a government-issued identification card, letter from a justice of the peace, and vaccination card to the sites. The Ministry of Health and Wellness thanks the public for their cooperation.
This Saturday, August 14, the Valerie Levy and Associates Limited presents the open house from 11:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Vineyards at Deanery, 50B to 50 and a quarter Deanery Road, Kingston. See studios, bedrooms, bathrooms, walking trails, rooftop entertainment, and much more. Mortgage banks will be on site. If you can't be there, tune in to Power 106 FM with Dervan Malcolm for a live broadcast from the event. This broadcast is brought to you by the Vineyards at Deanery, 50B to 50 and a quarter Deanery Road, Kingston. That's a live broadcast from the Vineyards at Deanery Open House this Saturday, August 14, right here on Power 106 FM.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. If you give a little more than you take, and if you try to fix more than you break, if you're the kind who takes the time to help a stranger in the rain, there's a place for people like you. If you stand up for those down on their knees and lend a voice to those who...
Que hora es en español? Son las 5:27. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5h. Well, the time just changed. Il est 5h moins 26. 现在提点了5点加20分. 26 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue our conversation with another Jamaican, and indeed a Jamaican church continue to play their part, as our national pledge says, in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. And so they're not only dancing abroad, but they're dancing right here a yard as well. Case in point, the Adopt a Clinic program, the latest clinic to be adopted, the Gordontown Health Center. And we've been getting the details on this and other matters from Reverend Paul Peart of the New Testament Temple Church of God and his church is based in the Bronx, but part of the Church of God family. And we're just amazed at the work that has been done already and is still being done, and can only just imagine what is to come. $1 million a year at least in terms of support. And you were mentioning some needs as well, which well, you couldn't give us the details, obviously, because sorry again that we weren't able to, but we understand because he's doing the master's work, so to speak. Reverend Gladstone Johnson, he would have been able to tell us a little more about Gordontown Health Center, but that's quite fine. Right. So that what's your itinerary looking like for the rest of the time? Is that it for you, or do you have other engagements? I know you were telling us as we went to the break about the work, the essential work that was being done. Perhaps you wanted to wrap up that point before we come back to looking at what's going to happen for the rest of the time you're here in Jamaica, as far as the Adopter Clinic program is concerned and related matters.
Yes, when they made healthcare work in New York that were on the front line, and one of the things that I did, and I encourage other churches to do also, churches in Jamaica to do, is that what they did was they were terrified, they were afraid, they were anxious because they thought that they were afraid of the virus and take it home to their family and their families because they saw that.
Oh dear, sorry, the line is really playing tricks with us. It's really acting up. We don't want the line to spoil the show, so to speak. Let's try again to reconnect, please. Sorry about that. Just a moment, please, Rev. Let's see if we can reconnect, because we really want to hear every single word that you have to share with us. And we're looking forward to the work that is to come, all that is to come with the adoption of Gordontown Health Center, part of the Adopter Clinic program. Those of you listening to us across the diaspora, you're looking for a way to memorialize a loved one or to keep someone's legacy going in that regard, or you are looking for a worthwhile cause or a worthy cause to support, adopting a clinic in Jamaica would be a lifesaver in more ways than one. So think about that. Yes, Reb, sorry about that. Let's see if the connection is much better now. Yes.
Oh, wonderful. So I'm the healthcare worker, nurses, the doctors, sometimes a COVID patient, when they're infected, they go to the hospitals. Sometimes the healthcare worker is the last person that they see on this side of eternity. Okay, because the sick patients are isolated in families and often die alone. And so when I recognize that, I call in the healthcare workers in my church. I counsel with them because they were not being counseled by even the administrators in the centers. We counsel with them, we ask questions, they embrace themselves, they told us their fears, and then prayed for them. We anointed them. We gave them oil to go back to their place of work to pray for people, because, in other words, sometimes they had to administer last rites. And since I, as a pastor, wasn't allowed to go to the hospitals, I empowered them to do last rites. And the patients, appreciated the fact that last assurance before they passed on. Of course, not all of them died, but they appreciated the healthcare worker playing the role of both nurse, priest. And so these are things that the church can encourage, because the healthcare worker cannot not go to work. They have to go and take care of us. But that's the point again, that most people have to shelter in place. But in every population, you're going to have people who take it as their duty to go out and face the danger. And so a number of persons in our church were persons like that. We recognize the danger, but do not count our lives ourselves. Okay, so we go out and face it and serve the community. So if my members are listening, I commend them. And everyone else across Jamaica that is being brave, standing up and taking the risk to protect others and care for others. We applaud you and say God richly bless you. Keep up the good work.
And you do likewise, Rev. And so that's pretty much it for now in terms of this trip, this mission trip, or there's a lot more work to be done before you head back to New York.
Yes. So the container that we are unloading, we have a number of stops to make in terms of making distribution. I think you mentioned Craig Town area, Maryland, the Old Harbor, different places like that. So over the next few days, we'll be visiting the community to make distribution. So that's on schedule. And after that, we kind of disperse and go down to Montego Bay Way, have a few days of vacation, eat some mango, dip in the Caribbean.
So it's like, and you deserve that and much more. Well done.
Thank you very much. One more thing I'd like to say.
Sure.
About me. There's a lot of hesitancy with respect to, the vaccination thing.
Yes.
And I would just like to speak about that. I think personally that I was exposed to the virus because at some point last January, I was feeling pain in my body that was unexplainable,
Yes.
And so I thought I came to the virus. My wife also had some symptoms. I think she lost her husband at some point. So I think that's our family, our home. Uh-oh. But even after that, once the vaccine became available, I went out and got my vaccination. Simply set the example, okay? Because there's a lot of words going around about all kind of stuff that most people don't even know about. But one of the points I make about the vaccine is that vaccine is not unfamiliar to us. All of us as children went out and got vaccination, and there was none of that explanation that people give to us, our parents. And then even now, for our children to go to school, we have them vaccinated. Okay, and so I'm not sure what the great concern is about getting vaccinated. And then all the other arguments that visited on it, like to take for instance, it's the mark of the beast. No, as far as I know, the mark of the beast is going to be administered in the right hand and in the forehead. Now, when I went and got the vaccination, it was administered in my left shoulder. That's not the mark of the beast, right? Then people are saying, okay, they're putting microchips into you. Now, listen, if people are afraid of microchips, right? Listen, if you have a smartphone, the smartphone have microchips, and everywhere you go, they can track you, right? If you have a credit card, the credit card have chips, and every time you use it, they can track you, okay? So if you're afraid of being tracked, get rid of your cell phone, get rid of your credit card. If you're afraid of being microchip, okay? So, but of course, I don't believe that this is in a microchip in the vaccine. That almost sounds absurd. Yeah. And so I encourage all Jamaicans, if vaccine become available, go out and get your vaccine, okay? And for those persons who are talking in the name of the Lord and saying, unto the Lord said, the Lord said, the Lord said, people need to be careful how they say the Lord say when they say nothing. Okay, so that's the encouragement I would give. This COVID is real, it's dangerous. And so whatever we can do to protect ourselves, let's do it. Let's listen to our professional doctors and leaders in society, like the Prime Minister or whosoever else, and do it because people are really dying that do not have to die. Okay, and so that's my word of encouragement in that area. I hope I didn't offend anyone, and yet if I offend someone, sometimes I say so.
So it is. The truth is not an offense. Rev, thank you so much for your work and the other members of the team, your volunteers. your church family at the New Testament Temple Church of God. Well done, and feel free. We'll be looking to keep in touch with you. In fact, I think we have another scheduled interview in the morning on the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online, because we really want to spread the word and to inspire other individuals, institutions, organizations to do likewise in terms of the Adopt a Clinic program. Well done, Rev. All the very best.
Thank you very much. By the way, one other thing that we want to do also is plant. That's one of the things that we also came to promote, and we want to raise some funds here, there, to plant more trees in Jamaica, especially mango tree.
Excellent. Wonderful. I hope you get some mangoes to eat before you go back to New York. And
mangoes start to show up on the streets in New York. I mean, Jamaican mangoes, East Indian Julie. The only thing is, they're very expensive. You can pay up to $10 for one mango. I mean, US dollars for one mango.
Well,
okay? But
whoa.
This, I will tell you this though, that if anybody wants to know, I am this man who prayed for mango to come to New York. I mean, Jamaican mangoes to come to New York.
Yes.
Because me used to have to take a plane to come to Jamaica to get a mango.
Well, indeed, the Lord continues to answer prayers, Rev. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Bless you.
All the best. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, and you are listening there to Reverend Paul Peart of the New Testament Temple Church of God. They have adopted the Gordontown Health Center, part of the Adopt a Clinic program.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:47.
Power Talk has been a unique source of discourse on matters of public interest, finding solutions to the challenges we face in a globalized world. Power Talk brings you the new hosts who will take talk radio to another level. Join Dr. Herbert Gale Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Croskill from Wednesday to Friday as they provide a riveting analysis on the issues of the day and speak with stakeholders charged with driving innovation to move Jamaica forward. Tune in for brand new features designed to showcase local developments and highlight how the global issues of the 21st century are being addressed. That's Dr. Herbert Gale Mondays and Tuesdays and Simon Croskill Wednesday to Friday on Power Talk, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here on Power 106 FM. The Ministry of Health and Wellness invites members of the public to visit a vaccination blitz site to receive a first or second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Appointments are preferred. Walk-ins are welcomed. Saturday, August 14th, St. Catharines, St. Jacob Park Health Center and the Portmore Heart Academy, St. Thomas, June Supermarket, Morant Bay Square, Morant Bay Health Center and the Seaforth Health Center, Kingston and St. Andrew, National Arena and the Maxfield Park Health Center, St. Mary, the St. Mary Anglican Church, Portland, Buff Bay Health Center, St. Anne, Bellier Farms Market, Clarendon, Denby Primary School and the Spalding Health Center, St. Elizabeth, Barbary Hall Community Center, Santa Cruz Health Center, Black River Health Center, and the Junction Health Center. Manchester, the Mandeville Regional Hospital, St. James, Sandals Inn, and Type 5 Health Center. Hanover, Lucy Health Center. On Sunday, August 15, Kingston and St. Andrew, the National Arena, St. Anne, Belair Farmers Market, Clarendon, Denby Primary School, Manchester, the Mandeville Regional Hospital. Persons should take their TRN, a government-issued identification card, letter from a justice of the peace, and vaccination card to the sites. The Ministry of Health and Wellness thanks the public for their cooperation.
Beneficiaries. The PATH payment cycle begins on August 23, and post offices and payment agencies will deliver payments based on last name up to September 10. Check the Friday Star to find out when and where you should collect. If you miss your date, you can collect on September 9 or 10. Take a government ID and don't forget your mask. For more information, call PATH at 876-922-8007 or visit the ministry's website and Facebook page. PATH, advancing your family, developing Jamaica. A message from the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
You wanna see if you lay down your life for love so someone could be saved, there's a place
¿Qué hora es en espagnol? Son las 5:10. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 5:10. 现在几点了？5点cha shi fen. 10 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned in to both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Let's continue with more of the messages before we have to wrap. Michael Carter confirms that he is in Burlington in Canada. He says, I'm in the city of Burlington by way of Toronto, Canada, with proud, firm roots in the lovely land of Jamaica via Westmoreland. Dervan, you're a treasure for us all. You're very kind, Michael Carter. Golden Brown says, do you know when the Cuban vaccine a come? Thanks. There was something about the Cuban vaccine in the news. What was that I read? I'll have to go back into the memory bank. But for the time being, let's keep it rolling. Carol in Calgary, Alberta, Canada says the rules in this case should change. Why should people vaccinated and following protocols be sent home because these anti-vaxxers refuse to follow rules? It's hashtag inhumane of them to not consider protecting self and others. If I was CEO of any hospital, I would hashtag refuse them. Yes, I stand by that. It is my duty to protect the public, says Carol in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So what does the 1739 treaty signed under British Governor Edward Trelawney, who granted Codger's Maroons 1,500 acres of land between their strongholds of Trelawney Town and Accompong in the cockpit country and a certain amount of political autonomy and economic freedoms signify? Well, that is the question that needs to be put before the court once and for all, since there remains some uncertainty about what is or what should be. The court is the best place to settle that. Valerie Rochester in Atlanta, Georgia. Hello to you. Good to see you. Neriga Smart Morgan 7 says blessings to each and everyone. And would love to know, she says, would love to know what? Let's see. All right, let's go to the phone lines right now. Listeners, we have joining us at this time a gentleman who his CV is, it could take us a while to read it, actually. Very accomplished, and he has written a book, The Color of My Heart, a true story of hope, perseverance, and love. His name is Dennis Skip Onak, and perhaps he'll give us the correct pronunciation of Dennis and Onak. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, Dervan. I am fine, thank you.
So the name is correct, Dennis?
Dennis, and then Skip as written, and then the last name is Ernach.
Ernach.
That's correct.
Got you. Dennis Skip Ernach. I'm so sorry we're connecting with you so late. You're not leaving Jamaica before tomorrow, are you?
No, not before tomorrow.
Right, because we're going to have I don't want to call it a spillover, but in terms of continuing the conversation on our Saturday morning program. I hate to wake you up on a Saturday morning when you're in Jamaica.
What time would that be? Because I have some friends meeting with me tomorrow morning.
Well, the program in the morning runs from 6 until 9. So,
okay. Well,
anytime along that continuum, we can always discuss off air.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but just as a teaser, why should those listening to us run to Amazon and all the other options to get a copy of The Color of My Heart, a true story of hope, perseverance, and love?
That book is an account of my life in Jamaica from 1971 to 1985. And it encompasses the Jamaican culture at that time, the education system, the political system, the music of that era, and the love story which shaped my life.
Mm-hmm. And why was it necessary for you to put it in this book or share your story with the world in this way?
Well, over the years, I've repeatedly shared the story verbally, and I've had so many requests by different people to put it in print. And so during the COVID lockdown in England, where I'm now living with my wife, I thought it would be a good opportunity to try and put all those stories into written form.
And here we are. Is it only available on Amazon?
At the moment, it's only available on Amazon.
Yes.
But it's available, I think, in three forms: softback, hardback, and the Kindle.
Right. So, listeners, consider this a teaser. And Dennis, it's a bit of a teaser. We're doing two programs because of the time constraint right now. We have to wrap because we have news coming up at 5.
Right.
So all things being well, we'll talk with you off air and make sure we don't wake you too early in the morning.
No, man, that's all right.
All right, but it's a pleasure talking with you already, and looking forward to tomorrow morning. All things being well.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure. Take care. That's Dennis Skip Ernach. Dennis Skip Ernach. That's DENIZ SKIP. Skip. That's a nickname. And Ernach. Ernach. ONAC. Ernach. Perhaps we'll ask him. Well, not perhaps. We'll definitely ask him about the name tomorrow morning, all things being well, on the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story of Jamaicans at home and abroad, here on Power 106 FM. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns Monday afternoon, 2 to 5. Before that, we invite you, if you care to get up that early on a Saturday morning, to listen out tomorrow morning, 6 to 9 on the Jamaican Diaspora Live Online. And then later tomorrow morning, we'll be in Vineyard Town and surrounding areas there, showcasing a new housing development. So we have a lot of ground to cover. Please stay with us. Till then, have a safe, peaceful, restful weekend.
I heard up there the streets are made of gold. And when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through here, there's a place up there for people like you. I know you're out there, so keep doing what you do. 'Cause there's a place up there for people like you. Out of many young people we are.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's News at 5.
Coming up in the news segment of Beyond the Headlines today, Friday, the